This is Gavin from Soundphoria, and I'm hanging out with none other than the Beast of Bailey Downs. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
So if you don't mind, please introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
My name's Blaine, and I play drums.
I'm Demi, and I do vocals and play lead guitar.
Ruben, I play bass.
Excellent. So I know,
He's the new guy.
The new guy, yes. Welcome. Appreciate having you guys on.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. You guys rock. You know.
Everybody knows Soundphoria now. I mean, you guys are getting well known.
Thank you. Hey, we try. You know,
That's working.
there's so much talent in this town. I mean, that's what we're about. You know. And
Yeah, that's why I moved here from Vegas.
Yeah.
Scene's a lot better.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
I'm kidding. I would just figure Vegas would attract people, just give them like the glamour of it.
The thing with Vegas is it's people don't know, it's kind of like a retirement community in a lot of ways.
Sure.
A lot of people are a lot older that are there, and then a lot of people that go to high school there are trying to get out.
I could see that.
And moving down here. It seems like everybody's moving to Arizona though right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, aside from like July,
Yeah.
you know, it's great.
Yeah. Traffic's getting crazy though.
For sure. I moved here from New York.
Oh, okay.
Totally,
It's
man.
not good.
So, I want to start with the origin of the band. How did you guys come together?
Well, actually, I'm originally from Ohio, and I basically when I was younger, I got a record deal and I did a bunch of other stuff out in Ohio, and then I kind of just like got sick of it out there, and just like I felt really trapped. Like I couldn't like I just wanted to see more of what was going on, so I just got a bus ticket and got on a bus and went to Las Vegas, and I bought a guitar when I got there, and I lived on the streets for like a year, and I ended up busking at the MGM Grand, and I made like $100 a day for 4 years, and I ended up getting an apartment and meeting my friend Drew, who's also on the same label as me, and he was like, hey, I'll help you do your band stuff, and so I had the name for a while, and I had the songs, and we started putting it together, and we put on our first EP, and then like literally right like 4 months after that, we met this dude named Justin, and he ran a label, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna help you guys out, and so he's been doing that, and so I did that for about 2 years in Vegas. We did tours and stuff, and it just kind of died out, and I was like not, Vegas changed in a lot of ways, and I was ready to leave, and I just wanted to come somewhere else, and I played on tour in Arizona, and it was just really great, and I really liked the scene, and so I came down here and knew some people out here, and was like, hey, would you like to, be part of the Beast of Bailey Downs? And they were like, yeah, let's do that. So I met Blaine,
Cool.
and we had a version of the Beast of Bailey Downs for about a year there, and then that kind of fizzled out because the guys just didn't have the same direction that we had, and we decided we just wanted to be a three-piece because, just too many people in the band was making it just like a headache at times, and obviously Ruben's in Ocean Harvest 2.
Great band.
He's in as well, and
Great band.
we just made friends, and they decided to come help me out with this project, which I really appreciate. So
It's kind of a rock star story when it all came together too.
yeah.
And the name, it comes from, what is that from? Is it
Yeah,
a book
it's
or a
from
film?
It's from a film in 2001, I believe. It's a Lionsgate film called Gingersnaps. It's basically about these two girls that it's like Halloween time, and they're sisters, and one of them gets bit by a werewolf, becomes a werewolf, and in the movie there's a werewolf that's like stalking the town, and it's like eating the neighborhood dogs and killing people, and that they refer to that one as the Beast of Bailey Downs because that's the town that it takes place in. Now, since that movie was released, though, there's been 2 other movies that take place in Bailey's Downs. There's the Christmas Horror Story, and the first there's a 3-part horror like thing, and in the first part it takes place in Bailey Downs, the whole thing. And then they did a Netflix series that I cannot remember the name of right now, and the whole thing takes place in Bailey Downs. So now, at this point, Bailey Downs is like this fictional place that exists, in media. So.
Oh, very cool. So it's all like within the same universe.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so.
You got the band name origin. So, you guys have like a nice hybrid of like punk going on with metal, like post-hardcore.
Yeah.
A really good mixture. What would you say your main influences are?
For me, it's like early 2000. At first, when I first started writing songs, it was like early 2000 post-hardcore. Escape the Fate and other bands of that kind. Silverstein, Hawthorne Heights. I'm from Ohio. I really love Hawthorne Heights. I used to follow them around all the time. They were really annoyed with me because I would just like follow them everywhere, like into Chipotle.
Nice back.
Yes, yeah, they're not the same guys now, but still great. I love those guys. And so for me, it was that. But then I'm also, I grew up playing guitar, and I have a lot of different influences with that, like Jason Becker, obviously, Jackie Vincent, Ingve Malmsteen is,
Oh, for sure.
especially lately with Ingve Malmsteen, really like him a lot lately. I get him more and more. I'm like collecting tapes, and I've got a bunch of his. And so at times, I mean, when you listen to Beast of Billy Downs, there's probably, there's not a lot of guitar solos in it. There will be, because we actually have some albums coming out. And but I don't know. I just like at times I just felt like I didn't need to do that when I was writing them. I was just like really coming from a punk place on it, and I was just like, just because I can play, certain ways, it doesn't mean I have to play that way on every song. I can
Absolutely.
play 4 chords, and as long as it has meaning and gets my point across and the feeling that I'm trying to convey, then I feel like then that's all it needs. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It's, and I think that's important too, where you have people that they strive so hard to be like the best shredder, playing the most complex stuff. But if there's no soul to it,
Exactly.
it doesn't. But you take like Dime from Pantera. He makes that guitar sing.
Yeah. Actually, me and my girlfriend were listening to Pantera in the car just yesterday, and Cemetery Gates, that riff, that with the harmonic squeals in it, I was just like, how is he doing that?
Right.
It's so ridiculous.
So innovative for its time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, just great. And I love Dean's.
Oh, for sure.
Great,
For sure.
so.
I heard you guys might have a show coming up next week.
Oh yeah, we do with Sound For Ya.
Okay.
So that'll be at the Starlight Lounge in
Glendale.
Glendale.
Oh yeah.
And we go on at 11, I believe, and we're going to play it for a while. So come on out. We have a bunch of new songs. And I feel like I'm completely alienating this whole interview. Did you have some influences, Blaine?
I do, but a lot of the stuff was already written when I got into the band. So I only add a little, flavor, I guess, to what I do.
Hey, all good, man. What inspires you to play?
A lot of different drummers. Let's see, like I grew up more like in a metal scene, like black metal and stuff.
Sure.
So like Hellhammer from Mayhem, or
Sure.
George Clash from Nile. Just
Emperor.
yeah.
That's my favorite black metal band. It's somewhere where it's no longer musicianship. It's like athleticism. The level these
Yeah.
guys play at.
That's one thing that me and Blaine have in common. Like we both love old school black metal.
Oh,
so
for sure.
yeah, it's definitely something we like to talk about, and we like to argue about. And he likes to tell me like what he thinks about it, or like things that I thought for years were a certain way, and then he wants to be like, oh yeah, no, that's completely not that way. So we get that, and he comes from a hardcore background.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of hardcore, like pretty much like Hatebreed, Obnoxious,
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Madball, Agnostic Front.
Sure.
And then punk rock here and there, like Minor Threat and all them.
Absolutely.
But for guitar, like before I played guitar, I was like listening to a lot of blues, like Stevie Ray Vaughan and B.B. King and all
For
that
sure.
stuff. So Stevie Ray Vaughan's pretty much my
Yeah, he's a
great influences in guitar.
Absolutely.
And
did
then
not know that.
for bass guitar, I just listened to Primus,
Okay.
Les Claypool. It's pretty much which I start
Right
playing bass, and 'cause I like the whole slap bass amp
Sure.
after everything. So I have a lot of practice with that and just finger techniques. And most of the time I just play with the pick. But yeah, I do mostly just hardcore.
I hear you, man. Did you guys ever play with American Standards?
We actually weird stories about that. I think we were actually scheduled to play with American Standards twice. Once in Flagstaff and once in Las Vegas. And I don't think they showed up for the Las Vegas show.
Okay.
And actually at the time we had a bassist who won't be named, Nate Pinto. But he booked those shows, so I don't know that they were exactly what they were supposed to be. And then the Flagstaff one, we actually were coming from Vegas, and we had this car, the transmission just crapped out on us, and we actually almost got stuck out here. It was really, really scary for a while. It took us we had to drive home at like 30 miles an hour, and it was rough, but we made it back. So we missed that one. It was at the Hive. Where's it at? I don't know where the Hive is. Flagstaff? Where's the
I
Hive?
believe so.
Yeah, that's where it was. So no, I haven't. I have. Oh wait, no, yeah, we played with them at It was in Scottsdale.
It was like a wasted.
Yeah, the Wasted Grain.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different. They have the sound on top of the thing.
Oh,
Above
sure.
the bar.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I miss the old spot over there too, and then Martini Ranch. I mean, that was a really good venue too. But yeah, I mean, the way they cleaned it up,
Yeah.
I dig.
Sure.
So I know. I mean, you guys have a lot coming up on the horizon too. New music, label. Any touring or?
We just toured in March. We usually do about 7 to 10 days. I usually try to schedule 10 days, and it turns into 7 days. So you know how that is. We've been doing them all ourselves. I work with a label that's called TNR Recordings out of Dayton, Ohio. We've been with them for the band, the Beastie Bailey Downs, has been with them for almost 3 years now. They're really great people. They do a partnership with the bands, help us out with a lot of just like the the BMI and all that other paperwork stuff. Make sure that we have everything copywritten.
Sure.
If it ever came down to a legal situation, like with the whole Beastie Bailey Downs thing, getting it trademarked and all that was kind of a bitch, but we ended up working that out, so we got to keep the name, which is great.
Takes forever too, right?
Yeah. All that shit. Yeah. So anyway, I work really closely with Justin, who's the CEO, and I'm actually in charge of a lot of stuff with it here in Arizona. I do all the artist scouting, and I have my eye on a lot of local people out here that I want to approach at some point. Blaine's been on it for a year, and we have Ocean Harvest. So these guys are in Ocean Harvest. They're also on it. They have a CD coming out. But anyway, we have a CD coming out hopefully in the next 2 months. It's all recorded. It just needs to be completely mixed and sent to me so that we can prove it. And then it has to go through all the BMI thing, and then we'll release it. And then it'll be 9 songs. It's called the Blood in the Streets. And but that's not the only album we're actually going to release this year. We're going to release 2 full lengths. We're going to release another 9-track album that's going to be called Pure Armageddon, and we're actually working on writing that right now. And it's a little. We feel inspired to write and to just put some stuff out there. And I felt like we went so long with just like having an EP, and we had like 6 songs, and then we remastered that and released it again. And I was just like sitting on all this material, and I was just like, I just want to get it out. And now we got Ruben, who can learn a song in 5 seconds. So
that's awesome.
So it's great. And TNR, you can go to their website. Right now we have 5 bands. We are representing Jackie Vincent from Falling Reverse and Cry of Enemy has an album coming out. And we have Ocean Harvest, we have the Beastie Bailey Downs, we have Bo, which is a prog band from Las Vegas. We have Back Alley Pep Rally, which is I would say they're like punk kind of.
Sure.
And they're from Ohio, Springfield.
They were down here recently.
Yeah. They'll be back. They're great guys. Yeah. The CEO's in that band. His name is Justin, and my friend Drew's in it as well. Great stuff. Everybody's putting out albums this year, and not really much else to say about that.
Right on. You guys are doing a lot.
Yeah, we're trying.
So for everybody out there in the interwebs, where can they find your music? Where are the URLs? You
can find us on Spotify, but really we've been doing a lot better on Google Music lately. We released we released a song in January. Well, we recorded it in January, released it in February, and it did 10,000 streams in the first 2 weeks, which we were really, really happy with. We couldn't believe it. When we went on tour this year, we got to Texas, and people showed up and knew who we were and knew what our songs were, and people singing along with them was pretty weird.
Right on.
And Texas is great. If you're a band, go to Texas and play. It's fucking awesome.
You have a favorite city in Texas to play?
Yeah, the Rock House in San Antonio.
Okay.
Tell everybody go. They got the best stage, dude. It's like some 80s shit. It's got tears and the sound guy. They had this little board when we first got in there, and I was like, dude, what's gonna happen? No, dude. It was it's just top notch. Will you play there?
No. I've never been to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
I plan on it though.
Oh yeah, do it.
Sure. Speaking of venues, locally in Phoenix, what's your favorite venue to play?
In Phoenix? I don't know that we played in Phoenix very much. We played the Blues. We mostly played in Mesa.
I'm sorry, the Valley in general.
My favorite place to play, probably the Nile Underground.
Okay.
I like that place. Sure. Club Red's great. Everybody loves playing Club Red. You feel like, the lead singer escaped fate or something.
Sure.
So, which is, and every place out here is great to play. The scene's good out here when, even the blues bar is fun to play. I can't really talk shit about any of the venues,
Sure.
It's what you make out of it. If you go out there and don't tell anybody to come to your show, then you're probably not going to have a good time. But
Absolutely.
if you're pushing, and we like to go, and we'll go to any event, and we'll make 200 flyers, and we'll put them on everybody's car, and pass out as many demos as we can. We'll go to the marquee and wait for all those people to come out of shows, like the Danzig show when Danzig was here, and just.
Which is smart, It's just it gets back to being grassroots.
Well, yeah, we're that's our thing is we draw from punk rock in a lot of ways with just how we're trying to do things great production like a Wage War album over computerized and stuff like that. A lot of people like that, and there's some albums that I like that are like that. But we're really not trying to do stuff like that. We're really just trying to be more like a 1986 thrash band, if you can hear
Sure.
like how that sounds, like that's really the tone that we're going for, with a little bit of reverb and like a guitar and the thumping bass and great drums, and like
Absolutely.
that's what we're trying to do. And I just see like everybody wants to everybody wants to start their band, and then like the day after be like, look, I bought $10,000 worth of equipment and here's a band in a box. And I just feel like if you're not playing a stadium, or if you're not playing with a barrier, there's no reason to have Axe FXs and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? A nice Marshall amp, a nice Fender amp that has 100 watts on it. It does just as good as any of that smoke and mirror shit.
Sure.
Okay, it's I don't try to use too many effects when I play, because I look at a lot of old artists like Kurt Hammett or somebody, where it's like those guys just shredded, dude. Those guys just played, and I feel like we've gotten away from a lot of that. I feel like it's just two guys, or people will be one guy and they'll go in with a producer and they'll make a track and they'll put it on the internet and they'll be like, look at my band. And it's like, dude, you don't have a band, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally
you have
agree.
a project, and that's cool. That's great. Make music, be creative, put things out, but it's different than what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to take it back a little old school.
For sure.
So hopefully there's a revolution and people get on that as well.
Oh,
I love that people are buying tapes again. I went and bought tape from Deadbeat Hymns and stuff, and I really love when people do that. And vinyl, it's a little harder to get pressed and stuff, but it's cool when people do that. But I don't know, that's just some stuff that irks me when people like just try to like come out with a band and it's like, hey, look, I have a T-shirt. My band's been out for one day. It's like, why don't you wait till somebody asks you for a T-shirt
Sure.
and then make one? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go slow.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? And that's how you build a following. That's how you build like the people that you know, and camaraderie with other bands and
Sure.
things like that. So it's just I'm not trying to be a dick about it. It's just like how I feel. I'm not trying to rant or anything.
You're not wrong, man. I hear you. So, we preach that all the time, though, too. Get out there, support the local music scene.
Exactly.
You support other bands.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
love
and
that's why I love your band, dude. Like I like how you. I remember when I first met you, you were like, I was like, what do you guys sound like? You're like, oh, we sound like Metallica meets Avenged Sevenfold, and I think that's like a really great, not just description of it, but that's a great idea. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's a great
Sure.
idea, dude. And I like your vocalist, and I like what you guys do. Do you know what I'm
thank
saying?
you.
Like, cause we played in the scene for the last year. We've been with these national acts and 1,500,000 likes on their page, and you know what? That shit doesn't mean nothing, dude. You can have 15,000 likes, and I've played with these bands, and they bring one person. Do you know what I'm saying? None of that shit means anything. It's all about like who you meet that are good people, and who's out there like really trying to do it for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Anybody can get their. We toured with a band that I'm not going to name, and they had Icy Star's drummer. They were able to like pay to have him come out and play. Did it make them any better? It really didn't, dude. It was just all contrived.
Sure.
Yeah, they had 15 shirt prints and all this other stuff, dude, but I didn't feel like they were winning crowds over, dude, because crowds know when you're fake, dude. If you're playing, like, for the younger crowds, like, some all-ages shows, those kids know if you're full of shit.
Sure.
They know
Yeah.
if you're up there just acting like you're a rock star, because it's not even about that, dude. It's all about the art. It's all about expressing something. If you're getting into this to just be like, oh, yeah, look, I have a guitar, and I can play, and now my friends are going to come to the show, and look, I'm a big rock star, then that's not the reason to do any of this shit.
Sure.
You do it because you're an artist. You do it because you couldn't do it. You wouldn't ever not want to do it.
I hear you.
So, that's all I got to say about that.
Hey, yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear, man.
All right.
I know what you mean.
I'm trying to be nice, like, 'cause sometimes when I did an interview in Albuquerque when we went through, and I don't know, people thought I was being a dick, but I wasn't really trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to say, like, what I feel like music's just. I'm sure it's always been that way, but I feel like it's just even worse now. I remember just 2007 being in Ohio, and like I lived in a little town, and I had a band there, and then the town over here had a band. That's all there was. Now it's like 10,000 bands, and it's like you start to see like, are these people even really bands, or why are you doing this? Why do you want to do this? And then you go on the road with people, and you play shows with bands from other places, and you just it can really make you like disenchanted with it all. Like, why do I want to be around these people? I mean, Blaine knows he wants to beat some of these people up because they get on his nerves. But, you just got to deal with it and just find better people to jam with. So, with me saying that, Absolute Threshold and us, we got to play a show, man.
Absolutely. Dude, I'm down.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to the show next week.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Friday the 13th.
Thank you so much for
appreciate having you guys on there.
oh, yeah, dude. We're gonna play for a while.
Good lineup, too. While She Waits, Red Space.
Yeah, I went and checked
Malo.
out their Facebooks, obviously, and, I can't wait to see them live. It's nothing like seeing people live, and that's the whole thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Free show, too. So no one has any excuse.
Oh yeah, and I also love that you don't use backing tracks because that's one thing that kind of gets on my nerves too. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Well, there's a limit to it, dude. I mean, certain things can help if you need to fill in some sound, dude. But I've played with bands that have backing tracks that are so loud that it's just like, what's going on? You hear a foghorn and some other thing going on. It's all blurred, and you're just like, what is this? You know
or
what
if it's straight up another instrument, like there's a backing track of like the bass and the guitar.
Yeah. I mean, anything can be done tastefully, but it's like, I just kind of wonder what these bands sound like without them. So
absolutely.
That's why I shouldn't be a sound guy. I'd be like, oh no, turn that back up. No,
you guys bring it live. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, it's when you got this dude, man. You got to keep up with him, man. He's
Sure.
no joke. So.
Well, again, guys, thanks for being on. You know, appreciate it.
Thank you.
You can catch the Beast of Bailey Downs Friday the 13th over at the Starlight Lounge in Glendale. Get out there, support local music. That's a free show, by the way.
Yes.
So you better be there. Peace.